everybody. Good morning. We're going to have another learning session right now. I hope you're all ready to go with your computer and your pencils. And we'll get started first with a story, because we always start with a story. This one's going to be Big Al. So the video is going to come closer so they can show you the book really close. What do you think Big Al is? Take a look at that. And here, where do you think he lives? Looks like the ocean, right? I think Big Al is a fish. In the wide blue sea, there was a very friendly fish named Big Al. You could not find a nicer fish. But Big Al was also very, very scary. Other fish seemed to have at least one friend. Some had many, but Big Al had none. He did not really blame the other fish. How could he expect little fish to trust a great big fish with eyes and skin and teeth like his? So Big Al was lonely and cried big salty tears into the big salty sea. But Big Al really wanted friends, so he worked at it. First, he tried wrapping himself up with seaweed. He thought it was a great disguise, but no one else did. I mean, who wants to stop and talk to a floating plant that has big, sharp teeth? Then he thought that if he puffed himself up round, the other fish would laugh and see how clever and silly he could be. All they saw was how big he could be, and they steered clear. Very early one morning, Big Al went down to the bottom and flopped and wiggled himself into the sand until he was almost covered up. He looked much smaller that way. When other fish came near, Big Al talked and joked with them and had a delightful time. But then one scratchy little grain of sand got stuck in his gills, and achoo! He sneezed. Oh no, when the clouds of sand cleared away, all the other fish were gone. Big Al even changed his color one day so he could look like he belonged to a school of tiny fish passing by. He bubbled along with them for a while, laughing and feeling like he was just one of the crowd. But he was so big and clumsy that when all the fish darted to the left, and then quickly back to the right, Big Al just plowed straight ahead. He went bumping and thumping right into the little fish. Before he could even say, sorry, excuse me, they were gone, and he was all alone again, sadder than ever. Just when Big Al started to be sure that he would never have a single friend, something happened. He was floating along, sadly, watching some of the smaller fish and was wishing they would come closer. And as he watched, a net dropped down silently from above, and in an instant, they were caught. What do you think that net would be? Maybe a fisherman's net? Right. Big Al forgot all about being lonely, and he forgot all about being sad. His eyes bulged out bigger and rounder than ever, and with a mighty flip of his tail, he opened his mouth and charged straight at the net. The net was strong, but Big Al was stronger. He ripped right through it, and all the little fish rushed out through the hole. That was brave, wasn't it? But when Big Al tried to turn around and go out of the hole, he got all tangled up in the net. He was stuck. The net went higher and higher toward the bright surface of the sea, and the little fish watched as Big Al disappeared above them. The fishermen are pulling it up, right? When the little fish were able to speak again, all they talked about was the huge, wonderful fish that had saved them. How great to be free, but What a shame that big fellow had been captured. Just then there was a tremendous crashing splash above them, and the small fish dashed away. Was it the net again? Not at all. It was Big Al. Those fishermen took one look at him and threw him right back into the ocean. And now there is one huge, puffy, scary, fierce-looking fish in the sea who has more friends than anyone else. Big Al. The end. Okay, we're going to start our worksheets now. Over at the table, we're going to learn about the letter S today, and actually I'm going to start by writing the letter S for you to see on the chalkboard. The letter S is a little tricky. It starts at the top like they all do. It goes up a little, this side, then crosses over to that side, down to the bottom. Up a little, over to this side, back to the other side, and to the bottom. And the lowercase s looks just the same. One side, the other side, bottom. Up to the top, over to this side, that side, and at the bottom. Okay? So let's try to do our S worksheets together. What sound does S make? S, s, like snake, sandwich. First thing we'll do is we'll look at what's in this picture, and then we'll take a minute to write your name. So in this picture, what starts with S is a shadow. He is making a shadow with the lamp. Baby Bugs is, and he's scared Baby Elmer. The shadow is a spider, and he scares Baby Elmo. That starts with S. And Baby Elmo drops his spoon. So spoon and scare and spider and shadow all start with S. So take a minute to write your name up top, pause the video, and start it again when you're ready. Now, I want you to color this sheet, color your S's, practice writing this one, and color the sheet by stopping the video while you color and starting it up when you're done. Okay, we're going to start trying to write our S. Watch me write it a few times before you stop the video and try it yourself. Well, before we write it, let's talk about what's up top. This is a picture of something that starts with S. It's a sailboat. Okay, so here's our S. We start a little below the top. We come up and touch the top, go to this side, back over to the other side, touch the bottom. Start here, up to the top, one side, the other side, the bottom. Up to the top, one side, over to the other side, touch the bottom. Touch the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Last one, up to the top, this side, cross to the other side, touch the bottom. Now, stop the video for a minute. Copy this S, trace it, and make a few of your own S's, and then start the video again when you're ready. Okay, so next we're going to look at these two pictures down below and see if they start with S. One of them does, and the one that does you're going to choose, and you're going to write an S underneath. This is a picture of a seal playing with a ball. This is a picture of a whale. So you decide whether seal or whale starts with S. Pause the video, write down an S under the right picture, and start the video again when you're done. Okay, if you put an S underneath the seal, you are right. That was the one that starts with S. Okay, On our next worksheet, we're going to practice a lot of S's. Start by pausing the video to put your name on top, and then start the video again when you're done. Okay, so watch me do some of my S's, and then you will pause the video and start your own. Up to the top, this side, cross to the other side, touch the bottom. Up to the top, this side, cross to the other side, touch the bottom. Up to the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Start on this dot here. Up to the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Touch the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Touch the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Touch the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Touch the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Go ahead and pause the video and write all of your capital S's, and then start the video when you're ready. Okay, let's do our lowercase s's. They are the same, they're just smaller. So don't come up to the top. Right here in the middle is where we touch. This side, the other side, touch the bottom. Right here in the middle, this side, the other side, the bottom. The same letter, just smaller. So only touch this middle line, this side, the other side, the bottom. Try not to go below the bottom line. Touch here in the middle, this side, the other side, the bottom. Touch the middle, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Touch here in the middle, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Last one, right here in the middle, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. Pause the video, write your S's, your lowercase s's, and start the video when you're done. Okay, on the back, we're going to circle anything that starts with an S. So the first picture is a sailboat. If you think that starts with S, circle the sailboat. If you don't think so, don't circle it. Pause the video, you decide, and start the video when you're ready. All right, I'm going to circle the sailboat because it does start with S. The next one is a 7. If you think that starts with S, circle it. If you don't, don't circle it. Pause the video, you decide, and start the video when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to circle the 7 because 7 starts with S. 7. Okay, the next picture is the sun. Circle the sun if you think it starts with S. If you don't think it does, don't circle it. Pause the video and you decide, and then start the video when you're done. Okay, I'm going to circle the sun because sun starts with S. Our last picture is crayons. So if you think crayons starts with S, circle it. If you don't think so, don't circle it. Pause the video, you decide, and then start the video again when you're ready. I'm not going to circle crayons because crayons doesn't start with S. If it did, what would it be? Crayons. Okay. We're going to go to the next one. On this one, take a minute and write your name. Maybe right here is a good place. This is a little bit tough to pick that spot to write your name. Write your name in here by pausing the video and trying your best, and start it again when you're done. Okay, we're going to copy and trace these S's that are here for more practice. I'm just going to follow along. Touch the top, this side, the other side, touch the bottom. And then the lowercase s's too. Pause your video and trace your S's and start the video again when you're done. Okay, we are going to find in these items down below any picture that starts with S, and we're going to circle it. If it ends with S, we're going to put an X on it. First, we'll start with those that start with S. Well, we'll do both at the same time. If you think it starts with S, we'll circle it, and if it ends with the letter or the sound S, we'll also put an X on it. The first picture is sun, sun. If you think that starts with S, you'll be circling it. If you think it ends with the S sound, you can put an X on it. Pause the video, you decide, and start the video when you're ready. I'm going to circle sun because sun starts with S. It does not end with S. If it did, it would be suns. So I'm not going to put an X on it. The next picture is tree. If you think tree starts with an S sound, circle it. If you think it ends with the S sound, put an X on it. Pause the video, you decide, and start the video again when you're ready. Okay, I'm not going to circle tree because tree doesn't start with S. If it did, it would be sree. It also doesn't end with S. If it did, it would be trees. Okay, the next one. This is a picture of hat. If hat starts with S, circle it. If it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video, and you decide and start the video when you're done. Okay, I'm not going to circle hat because hat doesn't start with S. If it did, it would be sat. And it doesn't end with S. If it did, it would be hats. Okay, the next picture, snowman. If you think it starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it too. Pause the video, you decide, and start it again when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to circle snowman because snowman starts with S. It doesn't end with S. If it did, it would be snowman's. All right, the next one is penguin. If you think it starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video, you decide, and start the video when you're ready. Penguins, I'm not going to circle that because it doesn't start with S. If it did, it would be sanguine. And it doesn't end with S. If it did, it would be penguins. So I'm not going to circle it or put an X on it. The next one is socks. If you think that starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video, you decide, and turn the video on when you're ready. Okay, socks. I'm going to circle that because socks starts with S. It also ends with S because there's two socks. So I put a circle and an X. The next one, this is a picture of a scarf. If you think that starts with S, put a circle on it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video, and you decide, and then start the video again when you're ready. Okay, scarf. I'm going to circle that because that starts with S. It does not end with S. If it did, it would be scarfs. So I'm not putting an X on it. The next picture is a fawn. Fawn is a baby deer. Fawn. If that starts with S, we're going to circle it. If it ends with S, we're going to put an X on it. Pause the video and you decide and start the video again when you're ready. Okay, I'm not going to circle fawn because it doesn't start with S. I'm also not going to put an X on it because it doesn't end with S either. Next picture is coat. Coat. If you think that starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video, you decide, and then start the video again when you're ready. Okay, I'm not going to circle coat because that doesn't start with S. If it did, it would be soaked. It also doesn't end with S. If it did, it would be coats. The next picture is a picture of a sled. If you think that starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. You decide, pause the video, and start it again when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to circle sled because it starts with S. I'm not going to put an X on it because it doesn't end with S. If it did, it would be sleds. The next picture is a bus. If you think it starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video, you decide, and then start the video when you're ready. Okay, I'm not going to circle bus because it doesn't start with S. If it did, it would be sus. I am going to put an X on it because it does end with S. It says bus. Okay, the last one. This is a picture of a seal. If you think seal starts with S, circle it. If you think it ends with S, put an X on it. Pause the video and you decide and start the video again when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to circle seal because it starts with S. I'm not going to put an X on seal because it doesn't have an S at the end. If it did, it would be seals. Let's count how many circles we made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it says here there were 6 things that started with S. How many X's did we draw? 1, 2. And it says find 2 things that end with S. Okay, turn your worksheet over. This worksheet, we are going to match a t-shirt to a pair of shorts. There's 1, 2, 3 t-shirts, and there's 1, 2, 3 pairs of shorts. They have the letter S on them. Some of the S's are capital, like this. Some of the S's are lowercase, like this. So this shirt has a capital, lowercase, capital. You have to find which pair of shorts looks just like those same S's and match them up by drawing a line. Take a minute to decide, pause the video, and start it when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to match this t-shirt to this pair of shorts. Capital, lowercase, capital, capital, lowercase, capital. Pause the video and decide which shirt this matches, which pair of shorts, and which pair of shorts this shirt matches, and draw your lines and start the video when you're ready and have done both. Okay, this t-shirt, capital, lowercase, lowercase, matches this pair of shorts, capital, lowercase, lowercase. And this t-shirt, lowercase, capital, capital, matches this pair of shorts, lowercase, capital, capital. All right, guys, one more worksheet. This one's with our cutting. First thing I want you to do is write your name on top, pause the video while you do that, and start the video when you're ready. This is a picture of a seal juggling 3 balls, and he wants to juggle balls with a picture of something that starts with S. Down below, we have some pictures. Not all of them will fit up here. Let's count. 1, 2, 3 balls, and 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. So some of these, or one of them, does not start with S. First thing we're going to do is get our scissors and cut the bottom part of the sheet so that our cutting will be easier. Pause the video, cut your bottom part off just like that, and start the video when you're ready. Okay, we're going to look at what these pictures are and whether they start with S. What is this a picture of? 4. Listen to it. 4. Does that start with S? No. If it did, it would say soar. How about this picture? What's this? Saw. Saw. Does that start with S? It does. I'm going to cut this circle out, and I'll be gluing it on in a minute. It's hard to cut circles. Do your best. If they're not perfect, it's okay. Pause the video and cut out the saw and start the video when you're ready. Okay, the next picture is 6. 6. Does that start with S? It does. I'm going to cut that one out too and set it aside to glue on to the picture. Go ahead and pause the video and cut out your 6 and turn it back on when you're ready. The last picture is soap. Soap. Does that start with S? Soap. It does. I'm going to cut that one out too. You go ahead and cut out your soap, pause the video, and start it again when you're ready. Okay, now we're going to glue them on for the seal, putting a little glue on the paper, not on the pieces. It's easier that way. And make sure your 6 is right side up, not upside down. And all your pictures, put them on there. Press them on. Go ahead and pause the video while you get out your glue and glue on your pieces and start it again when you're ready. Thanks for working so hard on your S worksheets. Good job. Now we're going to go back down to the floor. We're going to do a fun activity that we've done before for opposites. I'm going to bring out the board and I'm going to lay some cards on the board and we're going to match up those that are opposites. Okay. So this one says, or shows a picture of happy. What's the opposite of happy? Sad or mad is the opposite of happy. We'll put those together right there. This one shows dirty. What's the opposite of dirty? Right, clean. So we'll put that one together right there. This one shows up. What's the opposite of up? Down. Up is the opposite of down. This one shows empty. The glass is empty. What's the opposite of empty? Right, full. Full is the opposite of empty. This one shows asleep. What's the opposite of asleep? Awake. Asleep is the opposite of awake. This one shows back. What's the opposite of back or backwards? Frontwards. Frontwards is the opposite of backwards. This one shows thick. What's the opposite of thick? Thin. Thin is the opposite of thick. Let's try some more. Okay. This one shows him pushing. What's the opposite of pushing? Pulling. Pulling is the opposite of pushing. This one shows wet. What's the opposite of wet? Dry. Dry is the opposite of wet. This one shows a teddy bear that's old. What's the opposite of old? New. New is the opposite of old. This one shows closed. What's the opposite of closed? Open. Open is the opposite of closed. This picture shows hot or warm. What's the opposite of hot or warm? Cold. Cold is the opposite of hot or warm. This one shows young. This baby is young. What's the opposite of young? Old. This man is old. The opposite of young is old. And this picture shows yelling or loud. What's the opposite of loud? Quiet. Quiet is the opposite of loud. Couple more, and then we'll be done. This one shows small. What's the opposite of small? Big is the opposite of small. This one shows on. He is on the toy. What's the opposite of on? Off is the opposite of on. And this one shows out. What's the opposite of out? In. In is the opposite of out. Good job on opposites, everybody. The last thing for today is we're going to read our Bible story, and then we'll be done for today. This is a story called Jesus Feeds 5,000. One day, Jesus and his disciples tried to find a quiet place to rest. They climbed into a boat and sailed away. But when Jesus and the disciples arrived on shore, 5,000 people were waiting for them. Even though he was tired, Jesus taught them, and he healed those who were sick until it became dark outside. The people were getting hungry. The disciples thought the crowd should leave to get their own food, but Jesus told the disciples to feed everyone. They could only find 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus looked up to heaven and blessed the food. Then he broke it into pieces, and he had made enough food to feed everyone. Even after all the people had eaten, there were still 12 baskets of food left over. So, 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish fed 5,000 people. That's a miracle. That's one of Jesus' miracles. So the first question is, what did Jesus feed the 5,000 people with? Do you remember? Bread and fish. And the second question says, how much food was left over when they were done? 12 baskets. That's it for today, guys. I enjoyed being with you today. I miss you, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for learning, and thanks for doing your best. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.